Hello students, today we will study about hard and soft water. You all must be knowing what a hard water is and what is a soft water. See, soft water which water which produces lather with soap solution readily. It forms lather with soap solution, and such water it is called soft water. Example, distilled water and rainwater. It is soft water. It does not contain calcium and magnesium salts in it. Now, hard water. Hard water is a water which does not lather with soap solution. It does not lather readily and is called hard water, like seawater, water from some rivers, water from some lakes, etc. This is called hard water. Now, what is the cause of hardness actually? Why the water is hard? Hard water may be defined as the water which contain bicarbonates. See, they contain bicarbonates, chlorides, or sulfates. Three things are there: bicarbonate, chlorides, or sulfates of calcium or magnesium. It means calcium bicarbonate, calcium chloride, calcium sulfate, or magnesium bicarbonate, magnesium chlorides, and magnesium sulfates. If these are present in water, it means the water is hard water. When hard water containing calcium ion or magnesium ions is treated with a soap solution, if soap solution is added to such water, a precipitate of the calcium or magnesium salt, which we call scum, that is formed of the corresponding fatty acid. Like if suppose the formula of that soap is C15H21H31COONA, if it will combine with calcium ion, this Na will be replaced by calcium ion. So this calcium will form scum rather than the formation of lather, and Na ions will come in the solution. Here if you will see magnesium ions, if they are there, then they will form this, and sodium ions will be outside. Thus, with the use of hard water, soap gets precipitated. If we will use hard water, the soap will get precipitated in the form of calcium and magnesium salts we will get, and these salts are insoluble in water. That's why only the water it forms scum and not lather. Now, types of hardness, we all know that hardness it is of two types. The first one is temporary hardness, and the second one is permanent hardness. Temporary hardness it is caused by calcium and magnesium bicarbonates, means CaHCO3 whole twice and MgHCO3 whole twice. If bicarbonates of these two ions, calcium and magnesium, are present in water, such hardness is temporary hardness and it can be removed very easily. But if calcium and magnesium chlorides and sulfates are present, then the hardness is permanent hardness. Now we will see how to remove hardness. See, softening of hard water. If water is hard, how we can convert it into soft water? The process of removal of calcium and magnesium ions. If we will remove these two ions from the water, the hard water will become soft water. Yes. Removal of temporary hardness. Now, how can we remove temporary hardness? Just by boiling. See, if calcium bicarbonate is present, if we'll boil that water, this calcium carbonate will be formed here, which will precipitate out, and these two carbon dioxide gas will evolve out, and water it will be in the vapor state, because we are heating it, so it will be obtained in the vapor state. This precipitate will settle down, and by the process of filtration we can remove this. Yes, the water will become soft water. Now the second one is magnesium bicarbonates. If we'll heat that, then we'll get magnesium carbonate plus CO2 plus water. Okay, the same process. Secondly, we can do it by Clark's method also. This is the method for removal of temporary hardness from water. Okay. See, milk of lime, that is calcium hydroxide, it is added to temporary hard water. See, calcium hydroxide it is added here. To temporary hard water we are adding calcium hydroxide. See, here we'll get calcium carbonate which will precipitate out, and water will remain there. And if magnesium bicarbonate is present in water, then it will also combine with calcium hydroxide. We will get two types of carbonates here. Magnesium carbonate will also precipitate out, and calcium carbonate will also precipitate out. So this is how we can remove temporary hardness. Two methods are there. The first one is the process of boiling, and second one is Clark's method. In Clark's method, we will be using calcium hydroxide. Now, removal of permanent hardness. How can we remove permanent hardness from water? By adding washing soda. The formula for washing soda, it is Na2CO3. See, if calcium chloride or calcium sulfate, magnesium chloride or magnesium sulfate is present, then if we'll use washing soda, by using washing soda, see, we will get their carbonates along with the formation of soluble salts. So these two ions will be removed from the water, and if these two ions will be removed, it means the hard water will become soft. Second one is by Kalgan process. See, Kalgan is actually a name given to a complex. This is done by the addition of sodium polymetaphosphate, NaPO3 and N, where the value of N it can be as large as 1000, and Kalgan, it is the name given to that complex. Now we'll see the reactions taking place here. See, if calcium ions are present over there, then they will react with Kalgan. See, Na2 in bracket, it's Na4 PO3 whole 6. This is generally called Kalgan. When calcium ions will combine with Kalgan, here see what will happen. This sodium will be replaced by calcium here. Calcium will entrap here in the Kalgan, and this will remain in the solution. So this hard water will become soft. Here to see what will happen. This magnesium, it will replace this sodium inside, and it will be trapped here in the complex Kalgan. So, and Na plus will be ionized in the solution. So here it will be trapped and it will remain in the solution form. Now second one is ion exchange. See, here we'll exchange the ions. In this technique, calcium and magnesium ions which cause hardness, they are exchanged by those cations which do not cause hardness. Simply we'll exchange the radicals. So the first process here is inorganic cation exchangers, and the process is called permutate process. Permutate, they are actually artificially synthesized zeolites. Okay, shaped zeolites are there, like the formula for zeolite is Na2Al2SiO8XH2O. Is sodium aluminium orthosilicate, sodium aluminium silicate, or it is also called sodium zeolite. See, now ion exchange is taking place here. If calcium ions are present, it will react with that. Here calcium will take its place, and Na ion will come in the solution. So it will remain in the solution and it will not cause hardness anymore. Now the next one is magnesium ions. See, if magnesium ions are present, then these magnesium ions will also combine with this permutate, and here it will displace sodium ion, and sodium ion will come here. See, as the process continues, permutate gets exhausted. After some time, this permutate get exhausted and we have to regenerate it. So its regeneration, it is done by percolating a 10% solution of sodium chloride. If you will add that through the exhausted permutate, see what will happen. If calcium aluminium orthosilicate is present over there, this will combine with this 10% solution of NaCl, then NaCl will again replace this. So if we want to regenerate the permutate, we can regenerate it by using NaCl. Same way, like calcium aluminium orthosilicate is here, it will be also treated with NaCl, and this magnesium will also be treated with NaCl. This is the process for regeneration of permutate. Now the second one is organic ion exchangers. Resins remove all cations and anions except H plus and OH minus ion. C. If all ions will be removed and only H plus and OH minus ions will remain there in the water, this all we need. What we need is this only, that it will these resins will remove all the cations and anions from the hard water and make it completely demineralized. So the first one is the resin which exchange cations for H plus ions. Here cations will be exchanged for H plus ions and they are called cation exchangers. It possesses acidic groups. Here acidic groups are present. Example are there like COH group or SO3H group, it is present, and it may be represented as resin H plus. We will represent it as resin H plus. Secondly, the resin which exchanges anions, the resins which will exchange anions which are present in hard water like Cl minus or the other negative ions, SO42 minus, for OH minus. They will be replaced for OH minus, and this is called anion exchanger. All the positive and negative ion except H plus and OH minus ions will be removed from here. This is called anion exchanger. This possesses basic group OH minus or NH2 minus groups are present over there, and they can be represented as resin bond OH minus. See, the cation present in hard water get exchanged with H plus ion. How it will happen? If these two cations are present in hard water, we will use resin H plus for them. It will combine to form calcium resin whole square. This will be formed and H plus ion will come in the solution. Yes, similarly magnesium will also combine with resin to form this. So these will be formed and H plus ion will come in the solution. Now, and here see, water will become acidic because H plus ion will be more in number. The water coming out here contains free H plus ions and is acidic in nature. It will be acidic in nature and it is now passed through anion exchange resin. This is the first container, and in the second container anion exchange resins are present. Now water will go to that anion exchange resin container. Chloride and sulfate which are present in hard water, they will combine with this resin OH minus. They will replace this and resin Cl minus and resin whole square SO42 minus will be formed and OH ions will come in the solution. Now see, in water H plus ions are there and OH minus ions are there, and rest all the ions they are now in the combined state. Nothing is left over there now. No ion is in the solution state there, in the free state there. Now lastly see what we'll do. Here see what will happen. The OH minus ions thus formed, they combine with free H plus ion. OH minus are formed there, H plus ions are formed there. They both will combine to form water like this, and the water which will be obtained here, it is neither acidic in medium nor basic in medium, and it will be free from all the cation and anion, and this is generally known as deionized or demineralized water. This water which we will get here, because no positive and no negative ion is present over here other than H plus and OH minus. Now how can we regenerate the exhausted resin? See, all the resin will be used. Now how can we regenerate that exhausted resin? Calcium and magnesium resins will be there. If we'll treat them with HCl, again hydrogen will replace them and calcium chloride will be formed and magnesium chloride will be formed. This is how we can regenerate the exhausted resins. For resin OH minus, it is regenerated by percolating a moderately concentrated NaOH. This was for the positive one, and for OH minus, if we'll percolate that which is formed here, resin chloride structure which is formed here, if we'll percolate it in NaOH solution, then OH will come here and NaCl will be formed. So this is how we can regenerate the exhausted resin. This was all about hard and soft water. In our next video, we will study about D2O, that is heavy water. Thank you.